Hey, what's up guys? Steve here, and today we're going to take a look at the 50 highest selling 1987 through 1994 Michael Jordan basketball cards from the PWCC weekly auction that ended on June 2nd. And we'll kick today's list off at number 50 with this 1991 Tough Stuff Junior Michael Jordan, card number 3. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for just over $40. Up next at number 49 is this 1993 Hoops Steel Eaters featuring Michael Jordan with card number 289. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $42. Coming in at number 48 is this 1991 Nike Do You Know 90 Michael Jordan and Spike Lee, card number 3. This was a PSA 9, and it also sold for $42 even. Up next at number 47 is Michael Jordan's 1992 Skybox USA basketball card with card number 37. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $43.20. Coming in at number 46 is this 1990 Hoops Super Streaks featuring Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan with card number 385. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $43.20. Up next at number 45 is this 1991 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 452. This Jordan was in a PSA 10, and it sold for $45.60. Coming in at number 44 is this 1993 Fleer Living Legends Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $48 even. Up next at number 43 is this 1992 Upper Deck Award winner holograms Michael Jordan, card number AW9. This hologram was in a PSA 9 and it sold for just over $50. Coming in at number 42 is this 1991 Hoop Chicago Bulls featuring Michael Jordan with card number 277. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $51.60. Up next at number 41 is this 1994 Collector's Choice Michael Jordan, card number 240. This Jordan was in a PSA 10, and it sold for $52.80. Coming in at number 40 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Skybox USA basketball card with card number 534. This was a PSA 10 and it sold for $54 even. Coming in at number 39 is Michael Jordan's Frequent Flyers card from the 1993 Stadium Club basketball set with card number 181. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $62.40. Up next at number 38 is this 1991 Hoops McDonald's USA Michael Jordan, card number 55. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $67.20. Coming in at number 37 is this 1991 Hoops USA Michael Jordan, card number 579. This Jordan was in a PSA 10, and it sold for just short of $70. Up next at number 36 is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 438. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $74.40. Coming in at number 35 is this 1993 Nike Warner stickers featuring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny with card number 4. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $74.40. Up next at number 34 is this 1991 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 220. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $74.40. We get our first basketball card from the 1980s at number 33, with this 1989 Collegiate Collections North Carolina Michael Jordan, card number 17. This was a PSA 10, and it also sold for $74.40. Up next at number 32 is this 1993 Nike Warner Stickers Michael Jordan Nice Shoes Indeed. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $81.60. Coming in at number 31 is this 1993 Finest Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $84 even. And kicking off the top 30 of today's list is Michael Jordan's All-Star card from the 1991 Hoops basketball set with card number 253. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $86.40. We're headed back to the 1980s at number 29, with this 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan All-Star, card number 120. This was a BGS 8.5, and it sold for $103.20. Up next at number 28 is this 1993 Upper Deck Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $108. Coming in at number 27 is Michael Jordan's 1994 SP Championship Playoff Heroes with card number P2. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $112.80. Up next at number 26 is this 1993 Hoops 5th Anniversary Michael Jordan, card number 257. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $117.60. Coming in at number 25 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Hoops All-Star MVPs with card number IX. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $126. Up next at number 24 is this 1993 Topps Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $132. Coming in at number 23 is this 1992 Skybox Olympic Team Michael Jordan, card number USA 11. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $132. We're headed to the inaugural 1989 Hoops basketball set at number 22, with Michael Jordan's base card with card number 200. This was a PSA 10, and it also sold for $132. Coming in at number 21 is this 1992 Upper Deck Michael Jordan card number 453. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $144. And we're back to the mid-1990s to kick off the top 20, with this 1994 Skybox Emotion Michael Jordan card number 100. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $150. Up next at number 19 is this 1992 Upper Deck Fanimation Michael Jordan, card number 506. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $156. Coming in at number 18 is this 1991 Upper Deck Promo Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $168. We're back to the 1980s at number 17, with Michael Jordan's sticker from the 1988 Fleer basketball set with sticker number 7. This was a PSA 8, and it also sold for $168. Up next at number 16 is this 1992 Upper Deck McDonald's Chicago Bulls featuring Michael Jordan with card number CH4. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for just short of $200. Coming in at number 15 is Michael Jordan's Beam Team insert from the 1993 Stadium Club basketball set with card number 4. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $216. Up next at number 14 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 32. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $216. Coming in at number 13 is this 1987 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 59. This Jordan was in a BGS 6, and it sold for $216. Up next at number 12 is this 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 26. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $222. Coming in at number 11 is Michael Jordan's 1989 Sports Illustrated for Kids with card number 16. This was a BGS 8.5, and it sold for $264. And kicking off the top 10 of today's list is this 1992 Stadium Club members only Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a BGS 9.5, and it sold for $300 even. Up next at number 9 is this 1994 SB Championship Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $312. Coming in at number 8 is this 1992 Topps Archives Michael Jordan, card number 52. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $324. Up next at number 7 is this 1991 Hoops Prototypes Michael Jordan, card number 4. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $372. Coming in at number 6 is Michael Jordan's Team Leaders card from the 1992 Fleer basketball set with card number 4. This was a BGS 9, and it sold for $384. Alright guys, and before we get to the top 5, I did pull aside 5 bonus cards to share that missed the top 50. We'll start off with Michael Jordan's 1991 Upper Deck with card number 69. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for just over $40. For our second bonus card, we get this 1993 Skybox Premium Dynamic Dunks Michael Jordan, card number D4. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $39.60. Up next is Michael Jordan's 1992 Ultra with card number 27. This was an SGC 9.5, and it sold for $22.80. For our fourth bonus card, I ran across Michael Jordan's base card from the 1990 Hoops basketball set with card number 65. This was a BGS 9, and it sold for $19.20. And for one more classic Junk Wax era Jordan, I found this 1991 Fleer Michael Jordan with card number 29. This was a PSA 9, and it also sold for just short of $20. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1992 Upper Deck Air Michael Jordan, card number 453. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $540. Up next at number 4 is Michael Jordan's All-Star card from the 1990 Fleer basketball set with card number 5. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $540. Coming in at number 3 is this 1987 Gigantes de la NBA Michael Jordan, card number 35. This was a PSA 8, and it sold for $810. Up next at number 2 is this 1992 Baseball Cards Presents Basketball Price Guide Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 9, and it sold for $1,080. And topping off today's list at number 1 is this 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 17. This was a PSA 10, and it sold for $3,000 even. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.